Okay, after watching the tape from yesterday, very pleased with the effort and the way the team finished. Didn't get it done at the end, but putting ourselves in a position to win the game at the very end, 2 weeks in a row. So that's grit, determination, working together to be able to get that done. And now we just got to finish better. And to me, that's about the details at every position. It's about the details and coaching, and we have to just do a better job to get that done to finish the way we need to. But the fight's there, the determination's there. I see growth within the football team, which is outstanding. Getting better every single week. Starting with our quarterback, that's important, and him just distributing the ball, getting more confident. Timely throws and doing those things, and I think it's really been good to see him come together with the offense, during that time. But again, we just got to finish better, and that's what we'll be focusing on this week. Got a good week ahead of us here. I know it's fast. We'll meet with the guys here at 12:45 coming up here shortly, and then have a team meeting there, outline the week for those guys, and then we'll go off to unit position meetings, get our first and second down in today. We'll have a 35-minute walkthrough. Working into, and the guys will be off. And it's really about getting the bodies right. Start about getting the bodies right, getting your mind right, and then getting the spirit right. And that's been our mantra going into these games. And it's important that we get that done. Working with the performance staff and getting treatment and working with the athletic training staff to do that. And the guys did a nice job of getting the workout this morning, get a good flush in this morning. So it starts with that. We're facing a good team. This week, that's a balance on offense. Runs the ball really well. Really good yard after catch. We have a lot of good athletes that can get that done. I think they're top, one or two in the league in that. Completion percentage is there. QBR is there. So in offense, they present a lot of issues for you in the run and the pass and in situational football. And in defense, I think they haven't given up a touchdown in the last 12 quarters. So they've been playing really well. They've had some guys injured and all those things, but they've continued to play well at a high rate. And they've done a good job with that as well. So a big challenge ahead of us here in a short week. Our guys are excited about the opportunity to be able to compete against these guys on Thursday. So with that, I'll take questions.
Defensively in overtime, I believe it was the first third down. You guys had a back up 3rd and 10, and Addison kind of got a free release out to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Byard was kind of giving him a cushion. What were the details on that play that allowed that?
Yeah, we end up. I think we called out a timeout before that one, I believe, on that one, and we were set up, and so we called a defense that we like on that particular situation. With that, we just got to get down a little bit tighter on that in terms of where our alignments are, and we got to affect them more with the rush in that one too. So again, it's about being in position, making good plays, and it was one of our main calls that we always call.
3 different times in the overtime, they were behind the sticks. I think it was a sack, a false start, and a hold, and you guys weren't able to stop them. What's your evaluation of not being able to capitalize on?
Yeah, I mean, all 3 different instances, the one where it was, the 3rd and longer there, they ran a blocker screen, so we just got to do a good job of reacting, and setting up there and breaking and reacting there and getting them down before the sticks. Good play design by them, good call by them, putting a really good athlete in space. But again, it's about us putting ourselves in position, me as the coach and the players executing from there.
When you guys had the blocked field goal at the end of the Green Bay game, then what was done to address that, and why wasn't that properly corrected to the point where it happens again against the Vikings?
Yeah, I just think it's technique. It's technique. It's getting your foot down, bracing up there, staying lower. I just think it's technique, and we just have to do a better job there.
You guys,
that.
Wouldn't there be even more attentiveness to that, though? Why was there this lapse again? I would imagine when you lose a game that way, there would be more emphasis and focus that there wouldn't be another slip.
It was emphasized, and like I said, we just got to do better technique.
With Thomas Brown, you obviously hired him, you knew him, he was in the building. But what have you learned about his personality from the way he calls plays on Sundays?
Yeah, that's a good question. His personality is really good. Him and I've gotten along since the beginning. And I recruited him very hard because he was sought after. And, you know, we talked a lot on the phone, visited about, the opportunities here. And, you know, it was great to get to, you know, start that process with him. You know, and then, on the onside of this, he was, you know, the passing game coordinator, now he's the offensive coordinator, and, got great demeanor. Um, you know, he's got great presence with the guys. He's clear in his communication, and he works really well with the rest of the offensive staff. Works well with the offensive line coach, with the run game, you know, tying that in with the protections and, you know, with the pass game with Chris, as I said before, with Kerry. And it's a very collaborative effort with the whole group. And, you know, and then communicating with the players, I think is really been good the last 2 weeks.
The film on what about the way that he wants his offense to play shines through?
Well, I think it's our whole team the way we want to play, right? I would say, yeah, it's an attacking style. It's being on the same page. It's putting your players in position, you know, and getting our skill into the open spaces, like I've said. And we've done a nice job of that the last couple weeks.
After watching tape of the game, what impressed you most about Caleb? You mentioned his growth, but what impressed you most about that?
I would just say that, you know, because the challenge that, you know, each defense gives to you, you know, and then last week was a big challenge, you know, in terms of front variation, coverage variation, the pressure looks and then dropping out, pressure looks and then pressuring, and to be able to handle that and getting the ball out in a timely manner, to be able to check to the protections, you know, at times when he needed to, which was really good too. And then being able to strike the ball down the field because that's where the open spaces were, you know, based on what they were presenting to us during the season and then yesterday too. So a really good job with the tight window throws and getting the ball in space. And decision making was really good.
Sorry. Where else are you seeing growth on this team?
Yeah, just about hanging together, right? You know, the guys have we've had you know, we got to play complementary football for us to be able to win these games. And you know, the games that we've won, we've done that. And the games that we've been close, you know, we've just missed the mark a little bit. And it's throughout the course of the year, it's been, you know, one side or the other, and this side or that side. But in this league, you have to be good on all sides to win. And so that's what we're searching for. We're searching for continuity, execution on all sides during this game right here.
What's your review of the failed challenge on the Addison play?
Yeah, so the view of that, you know, first of all, I threw the challenge flag because it was an explosive. You know, it's 69 yards, and our defense did a wonderful job of stopping them, you know, there for a field goal. I was really pleased with that part of it. But again, when that's an explosive there, we want to make sure that we want to throw that flag. And again, I understand, you know, sideline and all that stuff, cameras and all that, but they've done a good job of replay assisting, you know, coming in and working with that. But again, I think it's always warrants a challenge when you got that big of a gain. If it was 6 yards, no one would care. If it was 15 yards, I don't think you would care. But 70 yards, it's worth it, even if we don't have the best look that we want to have.
Man, at this time last year, your defense was really picking up steam, and this time it just seems like it's losing steam. What's been the difference?
Yeah, I would just say that we need to tighten up on the details, you know, and you know, and do things better. And there's not a magic pill there. There never is. It's just about tightening things up and doing it better. And as a group, coaches, players, all of us together. And if we do that, we'll be okay.
Is disappointing that a lot of those fundamental things, technique, all that stuff, details, should have been well grounded, and they've kind of, and those are the last things you think would go wrong, because that's what your defense is all about.
Yeah, I would say that we've played well, you know, at times this year for sure. You can look at the numbers. We've played well. And on third down, QB percentage, you know, QBR, you know, red zone, we've played really well in a lot of areas. And and all I'm saying is that we need to just tighten it up, bring it together. And the only way to do that is coming together. And we just got to do it better.